that has been in the minds of, I think, almost the entire country over the last 1 week to 10 days is the price of petroleum products. The Brent rate yesterday was $67, at which we are now selling at almost 100 rupees a litre today in India, in some of these states, because of the local taxes of the state government. And they expect the barrel to go to $70, while the OPEC cartel feels that $75 will be a very comfortable rate, which means almost 150 rupees per litre. Our thought is, while the rupee can be strengthened against the dollar, they feel that RBI is letting it go up in order to improve exports. But whether the exports will more than offset the cost of imports of petroleum products is one question. Secondly, is this a move in order to encourage the people of India to move over to non-conventional energy for their movements, like electrical cars, scooters, which is now being promoted? In fact, yesterday Mr. Nitin Gadkari has also said that public sector undertakings should shift over to electrical vehicles. So, what is the program or the plan, immediate plan, especially for the government to somehow try to bring this petroleum and petroleum products under control?
This is a very vexatious issue, and an issue in which no answer except for reducing the price will convince anyone. So I know I'm treading on an area where whatever I must say to bring the reality into picture, it will only sound like I'm obfuscating. I'm avoiding the answer. I'm shifting the blame. You will be free to say what you want. But that is why I'm saying this is a vexatious issue. No minister can ever convince anybody, because Indians being Indians, and I'm one of them, will immediately stand up and say, all this is apart. All this is that side. Are you reducing the price today or not? So with that said, I'll still, if you want me to give you every reason that you know for where we are today, I can repeat it. But it is a matter of fact that both the center and the states will have to talk. It's no good if just, moral high ground is gained by the center by saying, right, I bring down the excise to zero, I'm not taking anything from you, go about buying your petrol and diesel. I can do that if I have a certain guarantee that my revenue foregone will not be an opportunity for somebody else or anybody else to get into the space and say, I will gain that. No harm, because they are not my enemies. They are also part of India. States can take that advantage. But if all of us are talking about consumer price coming down, tax raised by the center or tax raised by the states are not holier than one another. They are all equally issues which all of us don't want. But there is a revenue generation happening both by the center and the state. And equally there is also a hike in the price in the Brent, as you said, since November. And equally, the production which is being predicted by the OPEC countries is also likely to come down, further aggravating the stress on price. So if all this is the reality, it is the oil marketing companies of India who will have to say whether they want to cut it down, whether they have to go up, because technically the oil prices have been freed. Government has no control over it. It is the marketing companies which import the crude, refine it, then distribute it, put the cost for logistics and everything else. So the long and short of it is the states and the center will have to sit together to see if there is a way in which we can come out so that the consumer and purchasing power or the retail price of fuel is at a reasonable level. So I just can't be the one minister in union government to be saying, right, we bring it down now. By how much? And will that guarantee that that space is not going to be occupied by the states? Because everyone now needs money, revenue. At the same time, I can see the sense of relief when the budget did not come with one additional paisa being demanded from the taxpayers. So that's where it is a Mahabhayankar Dharma Sankat. Total Dharma Sangadam.
Will GST be the answer for that?
It can be, but even to get it onto GST, there needs to be a thorough discussion in the GST Council.
And consent by all the states.
Yes, because the provision has already been made in the GST Act. There is no need for me to go and do any amendments in the Parliament. But once they agree, then if they agree on a rate, yes, all over the country there can be one fuel price, rather than Chennai is more expensive than Delhi, Delhi is more expensive than Mumbai, things like that. I'm just saying it, I don't know exactly what rate prevails, but that anomaly can be addressed if it is in GST. And there can be just one tax, which can be then shared by both center and state, rather than having it like said, states have their own, center has their own.
Thank you.
अगर आपको हमारी यह वीडियो पसंद आई तो दी बॉटल को सब्सक्राइब, लाइक, शेयर और कमेंट करना ना भूलिएगा।